Thank you all. So moving on to the next case. So this is retinal whitening following pars plana vitrectomy. 52-year male who presented to us with some sudden diminution of vision left eye for the last 3 weeks. Right eye low vision for 10 years. This was the ultrasound of the right eye. He was pseudophakic and a closed funnel retinal detachment in the right eye. So, and was no PL in this eye. This was the left eye, which had a pretty much straightforward pseudophakic rhegmatogenous retinal detachment with a horseshoe tear in the inferotemporal quadrant and the superior-nasal quadrant that was attached. So considering the one-eyed status, we put in a 240 band initially to support the vitreous base. Uh, Otherwise, this case could have been managed transconjunctivally also, but just considering the one-eyed status, the band was tied in the inferior nasal quadrant, and then the standard three-port pars plana vitrectomy was started. After doing a core vitrectomy, the hyaloid was already lifted, as we would expect in a case of with a horseshoe tear, and the some of the fluid was drained through this horseshoe tear. There were two horseshoe, one here and one right here, a small one, and a good base shaving was done 360 degrees, and then the breaks were marked, and retinotomy was created here. I was not comfortable leaving fluid in this. We could have drained directly from the break also, but I did make a retinotomy to ensure complete drying of the macula. At this point, the view became a little hazy. There was frosting at the posterior part of the IOL. A viscoelastic layer was put in over there, and the view came back. And then laser was done around the breaks and the retinotomy side. And again, silicone oil was injected due to the one-eyed status and inability to maintain posture post-operatively. The ports and the conjunctiva were sutured. So a pretty uneventful surgery, and we would expect a well-attached retina the next day. It was attached, but yes. So what the first impression I was surprised was this whole whitening of the retina in the superior half, even the posterior pole, the fovea, and all along the arcade. It was very characteristically all along going along the vessels. And if you can see, it was going up till this point and including this arcade. So, and there was no inflammation in the interior segment. It was the routine cell, a few cells that we would expect. And this is the OCT passing through the posterior pole, which shows the edema of the inner retinal layers in this point. So the thoughts at this point were, was it ischemia? Is it toxicity? Is it inflammation? Or is it an infective component? And so retinal whitening, but why only segmental for the ischemia? Why not complete? Again, for toxicity also, why only segmental? And the patient, we did use all fresh products for the patient. Inflammation, vasculitis, but there were no hemorrhages present. And infection was looking unlikely as there was no other signs, and all the other cases done on the day were fine. Plan was to, we tried a OCTA but had a very poor fixation. We could not get a good scan. Started on oral steroids and planned for an angiogram. This is post-operative day 7. The whitening had reduced remarkably with the steroids, and he was counting fingers 2 meters now, and there was disc pallor, as you can see in this case, and the retinal edema had also gone down. And this is the angiogram at this point of time. You can see the blood flow was pretty much normal in all the quadrants. There was no leakage. There was just staining of the laser scars that was present at this point. So just the dilemma here, that what happened here. It doesn't look like vasculitis, ischemia, or infection. Likely a toxicity. What would be the, if yes, if it is a toxicity, what is the likely cause? The points from the panel here. Thank you.